We see you, Bobby, but we do not hear you.
As we go, does that work now?
Yes, sir.
Testing one,
Yes,
two,
sir.
three. Thank you very much. Again, Gary, thank you for the intro and some very interesting news that I caught just a bit of your comments, a few of your comments. And there's so much going on both in Washington and globally that it's hard for I really don't know how the American public can possibly keep up with everything that's going on because in the world of automobiles, it takes everything that I can do 24/7 almost just to stay abreast. And then I hear someone that I think maybe is not even in the business come out with news, and I say, well, where did they hear that? And so we all have our sources, but I can tell you that it's definitely like sometimes I feel like we're chasing our tails here because there's so much information, and I'm not so sure that maybe in the future that from time to time we step back and take a pause and look at how far we've come. And right now with the global crisis, and I want to welcome everyone to Bobby Likis Car Clinic here on Paltalk.com. And before I absolutely take another word, I want to dedicate today's show to JD 9587, Jeff Drake from Bakersfield, California, who passed away yesterday. And our thoughts and our prayers are with his wife, Andrea, and their 3 children. He was a regular Pal Talker even before I. So, JD, this one's for you. Getting back to my thoughts for the day, and I have several interviews that I want to share with you. One in specifically is sort of embargoed until Saturday, but not for Pal Talkers. You will our nationally syndicated radio audience will hear this interview and these words from Kateri Callahan, who is the president of the Alliance to Save Energy. And also in the same conference with her, we had on the phone, we had a gentleman, John Felmy, Felmy, who is the chief economist for the API, and that's the American Petroleum Institute. And of course, their message is going to be about drivesmarterchallenge.org. So it's driving people to their website, and by going to drivesmarterchallenge.org, you'll be able to put in your car. And this is really open for everyone, and it will help everyone. Their comments, I tried to sway the topic a little bit to broaden it to open more about the cafe average and get their input with regard to President Obama's recent cafe average. And now we have dealerships that are closed by the government. GM's going to lose 3,000 dealerships. Ford's already been cutting back. Ford was ahead of the game, by the way. We don't hear much about Ford, but true, they're doing their own cleaning house. But make no mistake about it, we had, even prior to, and I guess you could walk both sides of the fence, but pro and con, we had prior to this global economic crisis that we're all in these days, and the continued addiction to foreign oil and dependence on foreign oil. We had so many dealers that if you didn't like the way the dealer on A Street, east side, looked, smelled, talked, or answered their phone, you could go across the A Street on the west side and to the same dealer. And I'm a little facetious there. You could drive 2 miles, and there's another one just like it, like a McDonald's. And that might work when you're eating a $1 hamburger or a $2 hamburger or what have you. But I will tell you, when it comes to buying an automobile and when it comes to an expensive part of our lives, I don't know how many of you knew that the national average had been reduced for dealerships to a 2% profit. I think 2.2% national average on new car sales. I do know this for a fact. The 11% of all sales. Now this is pre-financial crisis. 11% of all sales across the nation are represented by the service shops of dealerships, new car dealerships. of that 11%, it produces that 11%, 37% of the gross profit. So as you could see, dealerships were selling cars, and 2% of their of all the sales, total sales, was profit, net profit, I think, and then on the other side of the coin, their service shop provided for them. That was the backbone, is what we call it in the service industry. Now that worm has changed, and dealerships, service departments are suffering. And you would think, well, wait a minute. It seems to me they would be not suffering because we're selling fewer cars. People are getting their cars fixed. There's some debate over that, and I would love to have, if someone I see dealer service shop ripoff, the AAIA, the Automotive Aftermarket Industry Association, says in a study that in California it costs 35% more to repair an automobile than it did in other states, and that nationwide was 35%. California was 50%, but nationwide 35% more to repair your automobile than at independent shops. If you look at that, and that's not where I want to go today, but you know, I do want to go into Obama's plan about the cafe corporate average, and we are going to do that. But I just want to clear the air here. A dealership may well charge more, and I'm an independent, so I share with you my thoughts and my experiences, both as being in an independent service shop owner since 1971, and prior to 71, in my barefoot years, I was service manager for Lincoln Mercury dealership. So I know the dealership side of the business, and also I know the independent side of the business, and worked with Ford Motor Company in their racing division for a short 9 months. So I know the OEM side, and then the experience has provided for me a lot of one-on-ones with industry and people in the industry. While it's true that the larger the business, the more layers they have of management, and the more difficult it is to accomplish any specific feat, whatever feat or goal. I mean, our goal is we're going to have 15 different colors of cars this year, and we got to pick those colors. That may not be as easy as you think. You just pick red, white, blue, green, yellow, metallic, this and this and this. But when you've got layers, you've got to come up with some idea. Then you got to pass it through the powers to be, and then they always have the upper powers to be. Whereas in a small company, we can stop on a dime and have change. Here's a challenge with a small company. Now I'm going to the independent repair. I'm going to the report that my industry, the Automotive Aftermarket Industry Association, has this survey and the report that they have issued with national press releases that more or less condemns dealership services. Now they are an organization for independents, so they should be providing and presenting